Okay, hi 8th. We are on 10-1, page 535, but first I want you to look at 534. Last year, you started learning a little tiny bit about pi. I know I'm not talking about the good one around, holidays and fall activities. I'm talking about the mathematical pi. So we're going to do a quick recap because this kind of jumps in assuming you have mastered pi, and you have not. So you probably remember a little bit of it. And unfortunately this year, Mrs. Lausch wasn't able to give us pi, which is so tasty. But here we are. We have the pi symbol, which is kind of like that, a little tilde there with the two vertical lines. It represents 3.14. Remember, pi actually goes on and on, indefinitely, infinitely, you know what I mean. It just keeps going on, 3.14, 1526, yada. Okay. You use pi when you're dealing with circles because it is approximately 3.14. So if you're using a nice calculator that has a pi symbol, that will get you more accuracy because it goes farther down the decimal line. If you are using just a standard calculator, or most phones have, I think, the pi button in them now, but you can just go 3.14, and that's fine. So to get the circumference of a circle, this is important, circumference of a circle. Okay, say you have a rug, you want to buy a circular rug. You need to know what the circumference is. So they'll give you like the diameter and stuff, and you can figure it out this way. Pi times d, diameter. Okay, if they only give you the r, all right, then you have to double it. So you would go pi 3.14 times, in this case 12, and you'll get, this means approximately this, approximately 37.68 feet. How to find the area though? So the rug's just, the circumference is around something, around. The area is how much is it filled in, okay? So to do that, you would do pi times r squared, all right? I wish they had more of a recap for you, but basically, if you have a circle and they want you to find the area and they give you the radius, that's the r, you would square it. But what if they give you the diameter? Now it looks like a Pokemon thing. If they gave you the diameter, you would just cut it in half. So say it was 12. The diameter was 12. We'll cut 12 in half, and that would be 6. So you would go pi times 6 squared. So you go 3.14 times 36, because 6 times 6 squared is 36. If you wanted the circumference of it, around it, and they gave you the diameter, which would be, let's just say 10. That's easy. Then you go pi times 10, so 3.14 times 10. But what if they didn't give you the diameter? What if they just gave you the radius? What if they gave you 5? Well, then you just double it. 5 doubled is 10. So that's how you would do that. So that's one way to trip you up, to give you the diameter when you need the radius, or vice versa. So that's the very quick recap of pi and circumference and areas of circles. So now, instead of going into that a bit more, they just jump right into volume. So area, circumference is around, area is filled in, right? But what if you're talking about a 2D object? That's that. What if you're talking about a 3D object? That's where volume comes into play. The area for this is just this flat area. Say it was the rug. But what if you wanted to fill a stack of something, or fill a liquid in a mug? You have juice or something. You would want to know the volume. So the good news is they give you, normally on tests and stuff like that, the way to get it. You just have to remember how to plug it in. So they will initially tell you how to get it. I think in the back of the book they do. Hold on, let me find that page. Yeah, in the very back, they'll give you this. Very, very back of the book. Look at all that. This you'll find on like SATs and stuff typically. They will give you all of these. You just have to know how to do it. So some of these you've seen and some you have not. So all you have to do is know how to find it. Back here, you should all remember this. This started in elementary. How do you find the volume of this? Well, you go 9 times 2 times 3. That's how to fill it up. If you just wanted to find, so perimeter would be all around, like 9 and 9 and 2 and 2, right? And you would add those up for perimeter. Now, if you wanted to do area, because say this was putting up a fence and now you're going to put soil down or grass down, how much do you need? You need the area for that. So you don't have to worry about those. You just multiply the two sides, length times width, 2 times 9. So the area would be 18 centimeters squared. But now volume, what if you wanted to have a raised flower bed and you need to fill it with soil? Well, now you need how high you're going to go. And that's where it comes into a height thing. So here's my little raised, you can't even see it. But anyways, if it was a volume, oh, that's not too bad. You can kind of see it. All right, so now it looks more like a prism. All right, so that's the whole point behind the volume. They're going to give you this, and you just have to plug it in. The volume V, it's capital V of a cylinder with a radius R, is the area of the base, capital B times the height. The capital B shows you first you need to find the area, folks. So how do you find the area of a circle? Well, it's back here on page, what was it, 534. Remember to find the area, it's pi times r squared. Pi times r squared. So what's the radius here? That's what you need to know. Square it and then times it by pi. Don't do it in this order first. Do order of operations. So you're going to do the exponents first. Let's do a practice. Over here, so here's the radius. So what you first need to do is find the area of one of the flat sides, and then you multiply it by the height to go up. So volume equals pi times r squared times height. So the first thing you do for order of operations, there's no parentheses here, but there are exponents. The radius is r, and that's 4. So 4 times 4. What's 4 times 4? Okay, and then you're going to multiply it by pi and by h. In this case, they show you going left to right, and that's fine. Remember, once you've done the exponents, you could do it out of order. It might get a little confusing, but you could. So what you're going to do, take your calculator, turn it on, and you're going to go 4 squared, or 4 times 4. You get 16, then you times it by pi. So you could hit the pi button, or you could do 3.14 equal, and then you times it by the height, which is 7. And you will get 351.68, 351.9. Why is it a little bit different? Because they use the pi button. As long as you have it close, you're going to be good to go. All right. Okay. Over here, you would take the radius and you square it and times it by pi, and that will give you the area. Take that and then times it by the height. So I recommend going left to right because the height is the last thing you want to multiply it by, just for remembrance sake. Over here, you take the radius and you square it. So 1.5 times 1.5. Then you times it by pi. Then you times it by that height. Okay, because what you're doing is you're finding the area of this, how much this is filled in, and the area is r times pi times the radius squared, and then you times it by that height, h. Okay, that's how you do those. Okay, so just practice with a couple, 2 or 3, use a calculator. Good luck.